A new survey has found that most LGBTQ adults in the United States are religious and more than half are Christian, to the surprise of people of faith in the community. Conducted by BuzzFeed and Whitman Insight Strategies, the survey is the most extensive of its kind and talked to over 880 members of the LGBTQ community from across the country from May 21 to June 1. Overall, the study found that LGBTQ people are largely white, women and under 40 years old. For those surveyed, more than half identified as bisexual, while the smallest group of people surveyed identified as transgender. Well, 39% of those polled said that they had no religious affiliation whatsoever. More than half of the respondents said that they were regularly involved in faith organizations. A majority of people who were religious were Christian, with 23% identifying as Protestant and 18% identifying as Catholic. Another 8% of those polled were Jewish, Muslim or Buddhist, and about 13% weren't sure what they identified as when it came to religion. But the journey to keeping their faith wasn't always easy, LGBTQ religious people and advocates told Newsweek. Kate Mears, a transgender woman, told Newsweek she was raised in a conservative, religious household in a small suburban town near Grand Rapids, Michigan. She attended morning and evening church services regularly and grew up going to Christian schools. And, on New Year's Day in 2016, Mears told her family that she wanted to transition. Her decision sparked a 2-year-long debate with her church, who aggressively tried to convince her to detransition or face excommunication. In the process, she fell out of contact with her family and was eventually dropped from the church's membership. "I lost my family and church in the process," Mears said. But she soon found herself unable to let go of religion, which had become a central part of who she is as a result of her upbringing, and eventually found another church who accepted her with open arms. "I hold on to my pain and try to use it to help people. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to abandon their religion," she added. Marilyn Parlberg, the executive director at the nonprofit organization Room for All, also expressed surprise at the survey's findings. "That is very surprising to me because in my experience working with the LGBTQ community in the church is that many of them have either left a long time ago, or were exiled," Parlberg said. Her organization is one of the largest advocates for inclusivity of all genders and sexualities in the Reformed Church in America. But Parlberg also noted that the church has made significant strides to be more open to people of all different backgrounds since the mid-2000s. "I think we looked at ourselves and said, we're better than this, the church is better than this," she said. Tricia Sheffield also saw the changes happening in the church, which is why she became a reverend and now runs Middletown Reformed Church in New Jersey. Sheffield was raised Southern Baptist but left the church when she was 30 years old, not because she was bisexual, but because she viewed the church as representing patriarchy, homophobia and racism. After a decade away from religion, Sheffield returned to the church at the age of 41 but only as an office administrator. "I had no intention to become spiritual again, but I began to see the kind of church I'd always hoped for," she said. Sheffield went on to study theology and queer theory and became ordained in 2013. Sheffield and her congregation recently marched in a parade to celebrate Pride Month, and she commented that many of the marchers were stunned that a church group was walking with them to support LGBTQ rights. "I know that many in the community have been shunned and may not feel welcome," Sheffield said. "But I think as churches have become more welcoming, people have found home again."